Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Detroit Maniac. My apologies for if there's any background noise. A computer fan is a little loud. But right now, let's get into this video. This is a playthrough of Pokemon Blue version under the restriction that I will not be using items. Well, to the best of my ability. Kind of. A lot of people talk about an itemless run as one with no trainer battle items. Well, what if we had absolutely no items? Then we wouldn't be able to finish the game because we wouldn't be able to make the first cut, get past the first cut tree and leave Cerulean Vermilion. But as you can see, I'm just not using. I'm using key items only. So I didn't pick up the potion, and that, if you haven't figured it out, leaves me at a bit of a disadvantage here. Normally I actually win that battle, but here, nope, I lost to Rival 1 at the beginning of the game in Oak's office. So I'm going to try to make up for the 60 some odd lost experience points by fighting some wild Pokemon. Not going out of my way to fight any, but if I see anyone worth fighting, okay, try to make up for some lost EXP. Alright. Deliver the Power Soul. And, yeah, in addition to no potions, there are a couple other issues that we'll run into. One item that's kind of crucial to the catch-em-all style, gotta catch-em-all style of Pokemon is pokeballs. But, pokeballs aren't key items. So under these rules, I'm not allowed to use any Pokeballs. So as you can probably guess, my selection of Pokemon is going to be rather limited, let's say. Yeah. Fortunately, Bulbasaur does okay early on. Part of the reason you choose Bulbasaur, well, you can't use antidotes either. And if you ever get poisoned by anything in the Viridian Forest, yeah, you're kind of out of luck. Now, I actually skipped the Junior Trainer. I've found, this is my third run under these rules that I've done. I've found that I'm more likely to lose to the Junior Trainer than to Brock. And as long as I can just Leech Seed, it takes a bit of a while. But as you can see, I'm healing back 2 HP per turn. As long as I don't get critical hit too badly, I can actually beat Brock at full HP. Yeah. Now, there are 4 mandatory trainers en route to Mount Moon. But this is where Bulbasaur's main weakness comes into play. Not that he's got bad moves, but just that so many of the early game Pokemon are resistant to Vine Whip. Not that it mattered there, because I didn't have Vine Whip. But, yeah, I lost to the Shorts trainer. The trainer who thinks that shorts are comfy and easy to wear. Yeah, the key is going to be actually Vine Whipping the Rattata. Now I finally have Vine Whip, and so I can do that. And then if you can Leech Seed the Ekans, then Wrap, his main scary move, actually gets completely neutralized. Because then he's dealing 2 damage to you from Wrap, but Leech Seed is healing 1 back and dealing 1 to him, so his best attack does as much damage to himself as he does to you. Anyway, Bulbasaur is actually about to evolve here. Now, I will evolve the Bulbasaur. There is a strategy out there to keep Bulbasaur unevolved for as long as you can, because you want him to learn Razor Leaf earlier. But I decide not to do that. My main concern is being able to make it through Mount Moon, without needing to double back, and without losing in the middle. And as you'll see, well, that doesn't end up working out very well. But I tried. Now, you'll notice I picked up the Magikarp. You almost never pick up the Magikarp from out front of Mount Moon. And why did I do it here? Well, as you can see, this Zubat can confuse me. And sometimes I want to switch out to break the confusion. Also, when I fight the second rival on Nugget Bridge, Sand Attack is kind of a thing. And you'll want to be able to switch out and break accuracy checks. More on that when it happens. But you'll also notice I'm encountering a lot of wild Pokemon here. No huge surprise. You can't get repels before Mount Moon. Any red and blue speedrunner would know that. However, repels are not key items. So, as you can imagine, we're going to be dealing with this problem quite a bit. I pick the fossil. It doesn't matter which fossil you pick. It kind of was important that I pick a fossil. Well, actually, for the reason I was thinking, wouldn't end up coming into play. But you might think, well, you need it for Surf. Nope, you can't revive the fossils until you can get to Cinnabar Island, which you need Surf for anyway. But as you can see here, huge advantage to having Bulbasaur. Okay? You see just how easy Misty is. Misty has good AI. She won't use her water moves against a grass Pokemon, so it's your super effective Vine Whip against Tackle. I don't care how powerful that Starmie is, the Vine Whip is winning. And now we have the Rival 2 battle. You can see a Sand Attack here. And a second Sand Attack. Gee, I guess this means I should switch out to make sure that my attacks will actually hit. But if you haven't noticed, in-game, I didn't realize that I had been hit by the 2 Sand Attacks. Worked out decently enough because the Leech Seed healed some HP during those wasted turns. But now I finally realize it. Finally switch back in, tackle the Charmander, and of course I'm at way lower health than I should be. This battle is usually easier. However, Rival 3 battle is going to be harder than normal, because there he has good AI. You need to get Ivysaur to around level 30 in order to consistently beat him, in order to even have much of a chance. And wouldn't you know it, level 30 is when you learn Razor Leaf. Even if you didn't, that would probably be okay, but you need to be about that high anyway. And so I'm going to be facing as many trainers as I reasonably can just to try to get up that high. Now, in a previous run, I speed ran through, lost to the SSN rival like 6 times before finally winning. Now, something else I finally figure out here, with my limited ability to use items, that actually means that in-game money has very limited value, which means I shouldn't need to worry about the implications of losing. If it's a choice between walking back to a Pokemon Center to heal and walking forward again to progress versus losing, warping to the Pokemon Center and walking forward, it's probably faster to lose. And you get maybe a little more EXP from knocking out like 1 extra Pokemon. I finally figured that out here. But finally, I make it through. I'm about to battle Bill. Now, this seems like as good a time as any to just go through some of the rules here. When I say no key items only, what constitutes using an item? I'd say using an item means selecting an item from your inventory to use it. Right? So, examples of something you need the item for but are not using the item, for example, having the Sylph Scope in your inventory and seeing the ghosts. Right? You don't need to select the Sylph Scope to use it. Now, Sylph Scope is key item, so that's kind of a bad example. Right? Bicycle we can use because it's a key item. The game won't let you toss it. Pokeflute is a key item. The game won't let you toss it, meaning that is the only in-battle item you can use. Otherwise, this is a full no trainer battle items run with some additional restrictions. But one other annoying thing, you might realize, well, wait, why am I not picking up the Body Slam TM? Well, TMs are not key items. So our move selection will be extremely limited as well. Limited Pokemon selection, limited move selection. And therein lies the challenge. Now, this is where I finally use the Faint Warp strategy, or Death Warp strategy, but you don't actually die. And now, watch, I'm not at level 30 yet. Okay, good, even tanking the confusion. And now I get Razor Leaf and just mow through the Charmander. Otherwise, because of the good AI, Charmeleon was going to use Ember every turn. Yeah. Worth noting, you might say, okay, fine, we can finally cut here. Notice, we would not be able to use Squirtle as our starter, because then the only Pokemon we have available up to this point would be, in this case, anything up to a Blastoise and the Magikarp Gyarados line. And yeah, neither of them can learn Cut. So we would be stuck. But you might be thinking ahead, wait a minute. Drinks are not key items. How are you going to get past Saffron City, or get into Saffron City? Well, it turns out you never actually need to select the drink. So we can actually progress through the game and get into Saffron City. But here, speaking of thinking about progressing through, you might notice I never got the bicycle. And you might be thinking, well, why not? 2 words. I forgot! And this is where I realize it. I'm doubling back. But the thing is, I don't know my way around the legends here. There's one hilarious moment. I fight this bug trainer with the Beedrill. I've never fought this guy before. And I make it to level 32. This oddball bug catcher that I'm not supposed to be facing, that's when I finally reach Venusaur. And the other thing, so it takes me like 10 minutes just to get the bike by this point. I probably would have been faster just walking through rather than biking through Rock Tunnel, and then getting the bike once Saffron City was open. I didn't need to go back and forth in the underground path. I mean, when I realized this, I felt like I was in that Helm story. Okay, Canadians have their jokes about Newfies. I'm Jewish. We have jokes about the residents of the fictional town of Helm, who do things in the silliest ways. A famous story about them when they were trying to build some new building. I think it was a new synagogue or something. They're carrying these heavy logs down the hill. They carry half of them down the hill. They realize it's easier to roll the logs down the hill, so what do? They carry half the logs back up to the top of the hill so they can roll them all down. That's what I felt like when I realized that I had gone through all of that, doubling back, when at that point it would have been easier to just progress through normally. But okay, we finally got the bike. We're finally through Rock Tunnel. Okay. And we're on our way to Celadon. And we've got a bit of a shopping list here. For one thing, you see us get the coin case. Why? Well, coin case is a key item. And we never have to actually select the coin case. And yeah, here, we're getting a teammate. We have a Kadabra now, or well, an Abra that will evolve into a Kadabra. Unfortunately, because of standard single-player no trading rules, we'll never be able to get this thing into an Alakazam. That's fine. Being able to handle Agatha nicely, it's kind of a big deal. But of course, the downside is needing to actually level up this thing, because right now he only knows Teleport. Level 16, he'll evolve and learn, assuming I don't over-level him before evolving, he will learn Confusion and actually be able to attack a thing or two every now. But for now, yeah, a bit of a grind. And also, even once you do level him up, defensive stats are really weak. He's practically made of glass. So we'll need to go back and heal a lot more than if I were just relying on Ace. But finally, we have our Kadabra. I'm facing a lot of the extra rocket trainers here. This is just, it's entirely to try to level up Abra and Kadabra. Yeah, you can see even the super effective Confusion didn't do very much there. And yeah, going through, finally making it through, finally about to, yeah, we're gonna have to fight Giovanni again. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, Kadabra's kind of weak. Weak defensively. That special attacking power and special defense power, because this is Gen 1 and special is unified stat. Yeah, no complaints about that. But yeah, it has been recommended to me that maybe I want to do a solo run and rely almost exclusively just on Venusaur. Now, fighting Erica, right? Erica's Pokemon are obviously the easiest ones. I get poisoned here. That's a good thing. If you are poisoned, you cannot be paralyzed. And giving all of these grass trainers extra turns and first strike, we really don't want that. We're better off going as far as we can, leveling up as much as we can, and oh look, he got knocked out. That's as far as we can go. Alright, get on the bike this time. Healing again. And here we go. Yeah, I get wrapped again. I don't know if they're hard-coded to consistently use wrap, but let's just say it's annoying. Yeah. This, in my first ever playthrough, back when I was 11 years old, this was where I learned that opponents don't have power points. I started with, I had a Blastoise by this point. I lost to Wrap Span. But finally, in this run, under these challenge rules, we go through, right, give drinks guard, and now our teammate is finally just about a high enough level that Confusion will one-shot almost all of the Ghastly. Now, you notice I didn't heal beforehand. That was another mistake. Meant to rely on teammate a little more, just level up a little bit more. Yeah, I originally thought level 26 was where Kadabra learned Psybeam. Turns out it's level 27. Hopefully I'll remember that for next time, because I might want to try to optimize this run a little bit better, because as you can see, I definitely made some suboptimal decisions there. Not using the bike, yeah, was a mistake. I'm fighting all the channelers I can, because I feel like Kadabra needs a few extra levels. And they're really easy trainers to beat. I feel like it's worth the extra couple minutes. Yeah. But here we go through, finally on our way to get the Pokeflute. Pokeflute, as I mentioned, the only battle item we can use under these rules. Now, why am I dancing around here? I tried to avoid picking up that rare candy. Yeah, rare candies are completely off limits to use. So if I could just free up the inventory slot by never picking any up, that would be great, but no. Okay, finally learn Recover. That comes up useful. Let's think ahead a little bit. Elite Four. We have to knock out 26 consecutive Pokemon without healing. At all. Not even with items, because of the rules here. And so, having Leech Seed and Recover is kind of a big deal. You would say Mega Drain, but that's a TM. I would love to use Mega Drain, but it's a TM. Now, why am I going to Silph Co so early here? Well, it turns out the Pokemon in Silph.Co are actually lower level than the Pokemon in Koga's gym. So, from a leveling perspective and trying to keep Kadabra on a good level curve, it actually makes more sense to do Silph.Co first, up to a point. That point is coming up soon. Rival number 5. Those of you familiar with Gen 1 mechanics know that you sometimes get when you beat certain gyms, you get boosts to your stats. Beating Koga boosts your speed. But I decided to go for it anyway, and as you can see, I'm getting outsped a bit. The Alakazam outspeeds, and that's a huge problem. Thankfully, he's not hard-coded to only use Recover against Psychic types. Sabrina is. This means that one consideration I need to make, I have to be extra certain I'm going to actually beat Sabrina, because the only way to lose to Sabrina is Sabrina faces off against Kadabra, because Kadabra's in my party, and will recover every turn. And unless I can deal half damage in one shot, which I usually can't, I'm not going to be able to win the battle at all, and I'm not going to be able to lose the battle unless I use up all of Kadabra's moves and then knock himself out with struggle, while chances are, against my Venusaur, Alakazam would have put up a Reflect at some point. So, yeah, it can take upwards of 100 turns to lose that battle. So you want to make sure you actually win, because losing takes an awfully long time. But, finally, went through Cycling Road, gained as many extra levels as I could. I really wanted to make sure that Kadabra could handle this with no problem, and it didn't work. But, got through far enough that Venusaur was able to finish the job. Alright, now let's go to the Safari Zone. And here's another loophole. You know how I said using an item means selecting it from your inventory? Well, Safari Balls are never in your inventory. Now, as you can see, I pick up a Doduo. Why? That is the only Pokemon prior to Cinnabar Island that I can get access to who learns Fly. I also picked up a Nidoran because I wanted a Poison-type Pokemon who was not also a Grass-type Pokemon, because I thought that Rival number 5's Pidgeot had agility. Turns out he doesn't. So here I thought this was going to be a free knockout against the rival. I was wrong. And so, yeah, I get knocked out. At least I do have the poison up there. But now, as you'll notice, maybe it's the extra levels, and maybe it's the speed badge boost from Koga, but I outspeed the Alakazam. And yeah, that helps quite a bit. I mean, would help even more if he didn't recover and completely waste those earlier efforts. Yeah, notice the hilarious thing, fodder using struggle, but yeah, being able to outspeed actually was the significant part. And so finally, we beat rival number 5. We get our Lapras, and Lapras is our Surfer. This is why, you might wonder, okay, how are you going to surf without choosing Squirtle? Right, Lapras. The other option being fishing rods are key items. So once you're in Safari Zone where you can catch stuff, you can fish. And one option that I've considered possibly using, fishing for a Poliwag, catching it, evolving it into a Poliwhirl, going to Cerulean City, trading the Poliwhirl for a Jinx, so that I'll have someone who knows Ice-type moves and who knows Body Slam. And that would make fighting Alakazams significantly easier. There are a number of Alakazams that are rather important to fight. Now, next big thing you see here, I pick up Growth, or I learn Growth from reaching level 43. And that's going to be pretty significant. I won't keep Growth the whole time. I'll replace it with Sleep Powder when I learn Sleep Powder. But if you can't put anything to sleep, and you think you're going to get hit with a special attack, say maybe in line with some moves that are all part of Venusaur's weaknesses, Psychic types, Ice types, Fire types, stuff we're going to be facing a bit. Using 6 growths means unless they get a critical hit, you're only taking a quarter of the damage. And that's exactly what I do here. Right? You can see these super effective Fire-type moves aren't doing a whole lot to us. Yeah. Now, normally I would switch out against the Fire Spin, but that would remove my growth buffs. So, Also, if you're familiar with the stat recalculation glitch, or sometimes called the badge boost glitch, anytime a stat has a modifier on it and another stat is modified, the first modifier is applied again. Normally, this will typically happen when your badge boosts are being applied, and then anything else modifies another stat. Your badge boost, the extra 12.5% to that stat, gets reapplied. And if you do that 6 times, you're actually slightly more than doubling all of your stats, other than the special stat that was being modified. Now, of course, you may have noticed, I should not have let off with Venusaur. I should try to preserve Venusaur as much as I can for later. And now that I use that strategy, well, it turns out I didn't even need to, but as you can see, had a lot more success against Blaine. But better to lose to Blaine, which can happen quickly, than losing to Sabrina. Now, you'll notice I walked straight past the optional gem. I should have fought that. I actually probably should have picked up Hitmonchan. If I wanted ice moves, right, well, Hitmonchan learns Ice Punch. If only his special stat weren't so garbage. But this is the battle I need to be careful about. Using Recover, and just in case, I want to try to save a Psychic against Alakazam, but there's the Reflect, and look, Razor Leash were good enough. So, everything worked out well enough. As you can see, could have been hit by a non-critical hit Psybeam and been fine. Sabrina's Alakazam actually doesn't know Psychic, thankfully. Psybeam, Psywave, Reflect, Recover, and as long as I can outspeed, which I think at that level I can, as long as I can get to within 1 hit, then Kadabra should be able to finish it off. But Giovanni, high-level Pokemon, lousy moves, no big deal. Now we face rival number 6, and now I know the Pidgeot has agility, so I'll use the strategy to get the easy KO. Poison Sting until it gets poisoned. Any day now. Alright, and now just keep on hitting them. I actually probably should be using Scratch. I think I eventually figure it out. No, I don't. I keep using Poison Sting, but great. Leveled up. Will evolve, assuming I win this fight. Rhyhorn, obviously no big deal. Execute will only use Poison Powder. 3 hits here, and now I get outsped. Have to switch in something. My Razor Leaf missed. Garbage luck there. I will get knocked out by the next Psychic attack. So I have to try anything. Okay, please stop recovering. Trying to lower some special a little. Maybe now. Nope, okay. And of course he recovered. Yeah, this battle isn't going very well, and also isn't ending very quickly. Oh look, finally knock out the Alakazam and get one shot by Flamethrower. Yeah, now is when I realized I should be taking advantage of that badge boost glitch I kept talking about a couple minutes ago. And hey, all that time against Execute, who is only using status moves that I was immune to anyway? Yeah, I should be using 6 growths. And I have no idea why I didn't do that. And so fine, yeah, I finally figure out that I should be, actually using Scratch here. Finally the Pidgeot gets KO'd. Okay, once again, if we win this battle, Nidoran female will evolve. And now, miss once, twice, 3 consecutive misses with Razor Leaf. That is 8,000 to 1 odds. That is close-ish to what I would call lethal odds. Average human lifespan is around 30,000 days. 1 in 30,000 chance of dying on a given day. This was like a quarter of the chance of dying on a given day. Only 4 times the chance of dying on a given day. That's how bad my odds were there. And yeah, I'm losing because of that, because I had really low HP, because I took way too many hits. Maybe we can get not garbage luck this turn. Alright, let's try this again. Fine. Poison Sting. Fine. Okay. Any day now. I mean, I can do this all day. But one thing I should have brought up before now, and just forgot to. How am I measuring success? I'm trying to optimize in-game time, but I'm banning save scumming. That means I cannot quit without saving. Because of the really long time it takes to do this, right? My first 2 runs were each over 7 hours in-game. Yeah, you're allowed to play, pause, and come back to it later. But you're not allowed to essentially undo moves that you made. And yeah, as you can see, got through a lot easier here. But yeah, so what I like about the in-game time no save scumming mechanic, no save scumming metric, is that it's a self-correcting metric as far as randomness is concerned. If you get bad luck early, that's okay, you're at a higher level. Right? If you zip through early, you're at a lower level, you're more likely to run into trouble later. As opposed to just, if there's a 10% chance of getting through and winning a particular battle versus a 95% chance of winning that battle. If you can just save scum, it doesn't matter whether you did it on your first try or your 10th try. So that's why I feel like the in-game time, no save scumming, is the best metric. Obviously, encountering a lot of wild Pokemon here, because, again, no repels, but we're almost through Victory Road. And we are seriously over-leveled, but actually, we can, with this lineup, we can progress through most of the Elite Four pretty easily, because unless Dugong gets a critical hit Aurora Beam, we knock it out with no trouble. Using 6 growths against Slowbro, who will only use Amnesia. This is not Yellow version. He doesn't know Psychic. And now, as long as we get no critical hits and no freezes from Ice Punch, we win, and no crit, no freeze from Blizzard. Okay. Now we face Bruno. Don't play with Bruno. Bruno is a dweeb. A dweeb, what's a dweeb? Oh, you know. Like Bruno. Yeah, Bruno is not a particularly challenging Elite Four member. Now we switch Teammate to lead off because, as you can imagine, Teammate's going to have a much, much easier time against Agatha than Venusaur will. Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean it's completely easy. It'll take a couple of times through the Elite Four to finally get Teammate up to a good enough level to outspeed everything and consistently one-shot. And the not outspeeding, yeah, that's a bit of a problem here. Of course, Gengar goes for double Nightshade. And while we do endure, we are not going to be able to beat the Gyarados. If we did, we would actually be able to pretty much easily one-shot Lance. Because we can Leech Seed heal against the Dragonairs. Dragonair knows agility, and because of Lance's good AI, he'll only use the Psychic move against the Poison type. In the Yellow version, they deliberately removed agility from all the dragons that Lance has. I will be doing a Yellow run, but yeah, I will be doing a Yellow run, but it's going to be a lot harder. Okay. Razor Leaf. Now we have to heal against... we have to heal against the Slowbro. Thank goodness you went for a Super Potion. Leech Seed starts healing me. I can't believe my foolish mistake there of just going too fast. Not only do I need to heal, I need to use the growths. So I almost really messed myself over there. Alright. 3 ice punches to the face because one of my Razor Leafs missed. Okay. 57 HP, that's not good. But as long as I can two-shot the Gyarados, I mean, I've got enough HP to endure I've got enough HP to endure a Dragon Rage, and actually to try to make sure that I two-shot. I mean, yeah, we have to do Agatha again, and look at that, we outspeed the first Gengar now. That's huge. Haunter, please don't mess with me too badly. He doesn't. Okay. And we outspeed the second Gengar and crit for the one-shot. Okay. Now you can see I'm wondering whether or not to lead off with Ace. I choose not to, because I realize I can't tank 2 hits from Gyarados. But I'm hoping that this move, right, I can two-shot, and of course I switch into the wrong one here. Now, you'll notice I'm sacrificing my water types. That is a mistake. Those are not the Pokemon I should be sacrificing here. Plan was, get Gyarados to low enough health that he would be a two-shot so that I could endure Dragon Rage. Worked out well enough, except he went for Hyper Beam instead of Dragon Rage, and I lose again. Alright. 3rd attempt at Elite Four. Okay. I'm starting with the wrong guy. Wonderful start. Again, I attack my water type, and I'll explain why that's such a bad idea when I'm done. But finally getting through. I don't even need to heal because I'm at full HP, but let's go for our growths. Good. I think I overdid it on the growths here, because I completely zoned out. Yeah, as you can see, I made some stupid mistakes here. This run, I do finish in a decent time, but I'm more lucky than good. Well, wasn't too lucky there. And now I realize I actually should lose as quickly as I can. So, we are actually going to lose against Bruno, but we're going to do it on purpose. Because I realize, since Teammate can outspeed the second Gengar now, I don't need Teammate to be any higher a level. I need Ace to be at a higher level. Specifically, I need Ace to be at level 55. So that he'll learn Sleep Powder, because I don't think I have a snowman's chance against the Alakazam without putting him to sleep. Okay. Okay. Of course I missed the cut, but okay. Razor Leaf. Thankfully I haven't missed a Razor Leaf against Cloyster. But, okay. Fine. Using our growths. Fine. I think I might have overdone it on the growths again. Fine. Now I actually realize I should use Cut because the badge boosts help me there. And Jinx has low physical defense. But, okay. Now, I decided, maybe I'll want a little more levels on my teammate. That ends up being actually a bad move. Because, well, you'll see. Notice I'm getting close to level 55. But you'll see just how close I get. I obviously should be using teammate here. I do. Okay. Fine. Sacking the wrong one. And I'll talk about why later. Fine. Go through. Go through. Fine. Psybeam 1 KO. Psychic 1 KO. There we go. Now, we put Ace up front. We have enough to endure 2 Dragon Rages. The only combo of moves that Gyarados can use that would mess with us is first Dragon Rage, then Hyper Beam. Thankfully, we don't get a Hyper Beam second. I guess a critical hit Hyper Beam would have been a problem too. But now, we finally use the strategy I was talking about. It takes a bit of a while, but Leech Seed, and I'm using the Poke Flute just because I don't want to waste any more moves. It's going to take a while, especially if Lance Hyper Potions. Okay, now I'm annoyed and I just use a couple of cuts. I have some extra cuts. Fine. Here we go. Fine. And I want to be at full health because Supersonic. Okay. Hyper Beam also would have been a bit of a problem. I think a critical hit Hyper Beam knocks me out. I've never actually taken a critical hit Hyper Beam against Aerodactyl in any of my runs. That's one thing that I've gotten lucky with thus far. But you can see I'm at level 54, about to gain a huge amount of EXP once these Leech Seeds finally drop the Dragonite. And you might be thinking, well, wait, why am I not using Cut to speed this up? I want to save some cuts, because if I can Sleep Powder Charizard, Razor Leaf is hardly going to do a buckus to him. Whereas Cut is a better option. So now you can see I was just short of leveling up. I was like 100 EXP away. So I had to put Ace in first. Swap into someone. Again, I swapped into the wrong one. Beat him with Teammate because with the Flying type moves, I didn't want to take any damage here. And now, please don't critical hit. It doesn't. Sleep Powder. Don't wake up. Oh no! Reflect is fine. And there's actually a better than even chance that he uses Reflect on either of the 2 turns he can attack. Now, Executor will only use Hypnosis unless I'm already asleep. So this is a free knockout. They'll only use Hypnosis because Psychic move, Poison Pokemon. I would love to heal back with Leech Seed, but unfortunately, Leech Seed doesn't affect Executor because he's a Grass type. Now I am Leech Seeding here, just to try to heal a little bit more, just in case I need anything fancy against the Charizard. And that works out decently enough. And I get outsped. I was not expecting that. Take a Fire Blast, and Charizard's 4 moves are the 2 fire moves, Rage, and Slash. Thankfully, I didn't get Slashed. That was the only thing that would have messed me up against Alakazam versus Charizard. But all I had to do was get Charizard to go for Rage. Once you go for Rage in Generation 1, you can never switch into anything else. Those 2 water types I was carrying the whole time, if I put them in front of him, the rival has good AI. He won't use the fire moves. He'll either use Slash or Rage, 50-50 chance which one. I have 2 chances, 3 out of 4 chance that Charizard gets locked into Rage. Rage would only deal like 30-something damage to me. If I Leech Seed and then put him to sleep, I'm probably healing more damage than Rage does. But I get more lucky than good. This was far from an optimal strategy. So much hindsight. But I progressed through the entire game with no TMs and a very limited Pokemon selection and no save scumming and no repels, etc., etc., no healing at all between Elite Four battles in 5 hours, 41 minutes. And what am I doing here? I'm checking some stats, seeing, well, who was how fast. It turns out, after the badge week, you need around 125 speed to outspeed, or before accounting for badge weeks, you need about 125 speed to outspeed Charizard. That's how close I was.